In this toy spot, we're going to be having a look at the DC superheroes Superman and Clark Kent. This was a exclusive set. I believe it released only through Target. I purchased this online. Not really much to say about the packaging. The packaging does have both Clark Kent and Superman. I'll explain the characters a little more in depth when I open this up. I won't review the Superman only because it is actually the exact same figure as the initial Superman that I reviewed. I was trying to look at it and see if there is any difference between the two. The only thing I could probably make out is that the skin, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up all that well, but the skin looks a little more fleshed out than on this Superman. This Superman, one of my concerns I had with it was the fact that his skin looked a little dingy in color and it looked a little faded. It looked like they've actually improved it a slight bit on this figure. But I won't do a review on this Superman just because it's the exact same figure. What I will be reviewing, however, is the Clark Kent. And the Clark Kent has loads of disappointment, and I'll explain that when I open him up. But there we have the packaging on the two figures. I said this was an exclusive to Target. I don't think it was an exclusive to Target. I will say it certainly wasn't available in Canada because I had to acquire him. I bought him when he first came out, and I think I paid a hefty price to get this set. This was, I think, the little more rare set of the two. The characters on the back are the same characters that they featured in the Series 2 wave. This is why I'm actually doing the review of them now instead of waiting later. I figured I'd try to keep them somewhat contained in their own series. So we have Superman, we have Supergirl, we have Bizarro, and we also have Doomsday. So there we have packaging on the Clark Kent Superman 2-pack. What I will do is I'll open it up and I will do a review of the Clark Kent. So stay tuned. And here we have Clark Kent out of the package. I probably will not have to tell you the first biggest flaw with this character. And does anybody know? Tell you what, why don't I move this guy over? And for one thing, he has a tough time standing. And I'll bring in Superman. This isn't the same Superman as the 2-pack. However, upon closer inspection, now that I had him out of the packaging, this Superman in the 2-pack definitely has a brighter skin color. It is sad because now that I've got this one on display, I almost would prefer to have this guy out. But I'll keep him sealed away for now. But can anybody see the problem between the Clark Kent and the Superman? Anybody? Maybe look at the arms, look at the legs. Does something seem off to you? Something should seem off to you, and that's the fact that this body sculpt that they use, even though the head is a nice sculpt, complete with his glasses and everything else, it is really disappointing to see such a scrawny looking Clark Kent. I mean, granted, I guess I don't know, that as far as I can tell, this is an original sculpt. I will put down Clark Kent for a second. And I'll move Superman out of the way. The only reason why I want to put him down for a second is I will also point out that Clark Kent got reused body-wise. I think you guys can see that. Clark Kent got reused in the Two-Face sculpt that got later released in, I think, Wave 6. They used the exact same body, which works fine for Two-Face. I have problems with him, but I'll get into him when I review that figure. But it doesn't work on this Clark Kent. The body is just too small, and it doesn't suit the character. I mean, as a businessman, it looks a lot like Clark Kent, and they did an incredible job on the figure. He's got the suit here. It isn't removable, although it is a separate piece. And there is lots of articulation in the weight, in the shoulders, and in the arms, the elbows, the hand. I find his head is a little loose though, at least on this figure. It appears also that you can take the glasses off. I'm not going to take the glasses off. I've learned through my infinite wisdom, when you usually have something like this stuck on, you don't want to take it off because you'll never get it back on. So I'm going to keep the glasses on, and I mean, really, for Clark Kent, you want the glasses on anyways. But he has lots of articulation in the legs as well, both in the thigh, the knee, as well as the foot. But I really can't get past the fact that his build is so small. And again, if I compare it over to Superman, clearly you can see that it just doesn't look right. It would have almost made more sense to them just to use the exact same Superman mold, save the cost on creating a new mold for this character, and just merely, you know, doctor this mold to have the suit on and everything else, and then maybe just use the new head. I really like the Clark Kent. I just wish his body wasn't as small as it was. He does come with one accessory, which is a file folder. And don't even try to make out what it says on the file folder, because it's just gibberish. It says but Clark can hold it. Not that you would really need to give him a file folder. I don't know why they just didn't give him... The obvious pick, for me at least, would have been to give him... I'm not even going to get the file folder in his hand, so I'll just leave it. The obvious choice for me would have been to give him a camera. Something at least he could have even worn around his neck. I don't know why they would have given him a file folder. Clearly, I think it was a last-minute decision to throw in an accessory. But all in all, I'll move Superman out of the way here. All in all, I really, really like the figure, but it definitely needs to be retooled, because I mean the body on him is just too small. But I mean, there you have a toy spot on the DC superheroes Clark Kent and Superman. And with that, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time.